I think Mr. Orford is a really good principal because he cares a lot about the students, and he's really calm in his demeanor, and he's really good at leading the school into a better place.
We like Mr. Orford because he's done a lot of good things for our school since he's been here, and we can really see the improvement in like how the kids are, and like I don't know, just the environment of the school seems a lot better.
Yeah, it's much better. Yeah.
Well, he's a great principal. He's been, I guess he's been a great inspiration to us, and well, he's definitely given our school someone to look up to and to acknowledge.
Well, I don't really know much about him, but he seems pretty cool, and he seems like a good principal for our school since we've gone through many over my whole high school years. He seems pretty down to earth and pretty good at listening to what the kids want and need for the school.
He always smiles and says hi every time he walks past us, which is really nice.
Yeah, he just seems pretty chill and collected and stuff. So yeah.
I think he's a very great principal who cares about the student and put so much effort into improving the school.
I think he was a really caring person because every time I had an interaction with him, he always cared and asked about the things that he knows about me. When I had my injury, he always checked on me and asked me questions. So I think he's a really caring and good person.
I think that he's pretty chill. He's a really good principal, and he really cares about Yeronga so far, so that's really good.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Those are all the students that I paid, so that's just as well. We got the right ones, so.
Hi guys, welcome to our Yeronga Quick Chat podcast.
I'm Sophie. Hi.
And I'm Pooja.
And today we are here with Mr. Orford, our principal.
Hey Sophie,
Welcome.
Hey Pooja, how are you both?
Really good, how are you?
I'm really well, thank you.
So you've only been at the school for this year, and
Correct.
You've been a great principal so far.
Thank you.
But a lot of the kids don't really know much about you, so we would like to take this time to ask a few questions and
Perfect.
get to know you.
Absolutely, very happy to share.
Okay, first up, what do you enjoy doing in your free time, sir?
Great question. Outside of school, I probably have what I call my 4 Fs. Okay, so that's friends, family, football, and fitness. So away when I'm not working here or thinking about school, those are my 4 things. So if I focus on friends and spending time with family, on my own fitness and watching and consuming anything to do with football, I'm a really happy man. So those are the things, I guess, that are most important to me when I'm not here leading our school.
Very nice.
And I'm very happy to talk about any of those things at any time as well.
So football, is this like NRL?
No, good question. I often get that question, but
Man.
Football for me is proper football, which actually here in Australia often most people refer to as soccer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
the world game. So.
Yes. Who's your team?
My team, so my parents are English, and so my team is
Sophie.
Southampton. Yeah, my team is Southampton. So not a lot of people who, unless they follow the game, know a lot about them. But yeah, they do okay.
I don't know much. I'm from England, so.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, my dad goes for Liverpool, I think.
Excellent. Yeah, well, they've got a lot more to cheer about than my team.
Yeah.
So.
Is there anything about you that people are shocked to know?
Well, that's a really intriguing question, isn't
Yeah.
it? That could be ominous. So I won't share all of the gory details. I'll tell you though an interesting fact though. So I guess related to our school, something that people may not know. I come from a long line of teachers in my family. So my mum worked at this school for close to 30 years. Yeah. So that's something that I often share with people here because quite often a lot of people don't know that. So yeah, she worked here for nearly 30 years and was a big advocate for the school, loved working here, loved the school, loved the students, loved the community. So it's been a really nice thing for me to come back here. And a really nice moment for me recently was when we had the musical. One of my first times I remember coming to the school was I came with my mum back sometime in the mid-90s when I was just young, and I remember coming to watch some musicals. So that was a nice moment.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'll tell you a funny one though.
Yeah.
Shocked one is I used to have really long hair. So yeah.
Sorry.
When I had hair, Pooja, yes, there was a point in my life when I was at school, and when I finished school, I had long hair. Yeah. It's fine. When you look at my hair now, you can be shocked, Pooja. It's okay.
Oh, don't worry.
Moving on.
Hey, you asked for shock. There you go. That's probably the appropriate reaction.
Yes.
Probably not the right one, but yes. Okay, why did you decide to work in education, sir?
Yeah, it's a really good question. It wasn't my first choice. So when I finished school, I went and did some other study first. I liked to travel as well, so I spent 4 or 5 years traveling around, and then it was actually only after I'd sort of reached my mid to late 20s that I decided to enter education. Obviously, I mentioned family before, but both my parents were teachers. I was working in a recruitment agency in London, recruiting teachers into school, and I guess the more time I spent in that work, the more time I spent in schools. And I guess that history where I knew what, the passion people have for education. I also loved school. I loved being at school. I really enjoyed my time. And I just thought, no, this is what I feel I wanted to go to do. So it felt like the right point and the right time in my life to go and do it. So yeah, I've loved it ever since. It's been great. Yeah.
Because I thought because your mum was a teacher, I thought you would not want to get into education.
Well, look, there were members of my family who did give me that advice. They said, maybe whatever you do, don't be a teacher. But, like any good son, I guess you ignore the advice of your parents and go do what it is that you want to go and do. Yes. But no, it was certainly that. Like I said, I think there was something in me that wanted to work in a field that I'd always enjoyed. And I'd seen that connection and passion for people that I knew. And I had friends that were in teaching as well. And it just seemed like a great choice. So, yeah. I've loved it.
That's great.
So what did you teach before you became a principal?
Yeah, good question. Because I don't think you ever actually come into education wanting to be a principal. That was never why I did the job. But I taught a lot actually in primary schools. So I taught, I'd always wanted to work in high school, but just as it happened, I taught in primary school, so I taught a whole range of different grades, and what I loved about teaching in primary school is I could teach every subject. So I got to teach everything, which was awesome. And as it turned out, I could always wanted to go to a high school. My first sort of experience working in a high school was actually being a deputy principal there. But my first job as a principal was actually in a really small school, and I taught all grades. So I taught prep to year 6 all at once. In primary school. So it was a great opportunity for me, but I loved it, and I've enjoyed it ever since.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah.
What are some aspects of Yeronga State High School that you like and enjoy, sir?
Excellent. Another really good question. Did you write these questions?
We
both did
collaborated.
Sure.
Well. She did all the work.
she just
good to be honest.
You
just hit the approve. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. I really love our school here. I have really enjoyed coming here, and the reason I've even been on leave for 2 weeks, which was lovely, and I couldn't wait to get back to school. So I think that's a nice feeling for me, knowing that I enjoy coming to work. What was that? Sorry.
Are you lying?
What was that?
Are you lying?
No, I'm not lying. No. Honesty is one of my values, so I'm always honest. But I wouldn't be able to do a job that I didn't enjoy, and I wouldn't be able to work at a school that I don't love. And I really love what we have here. So I think some of the things that have really, I guess, resonated and connected for me has been our community. So I think we've got a really special school community.
I think that's good to hear, because I feel like Yeronga does really pride in that.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think we're really proud. I love the school's history, and when I say community as well, I think it's not just our students, it's our staff, but also our parents and connection. But I've really enjoyed working with you as students. I think we've got some really passionate and connected and committed students who love the school as well.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've loved coming here is that students are always wanting to tell you how they can, or how we can make the school better.
Yes.
And I think that, when we work with students in that way, we get the best outcome. So I have loved that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and there's always something happening. And one of the other things I think that I like as well is the opportunities we give to our students here. So there's, I think some of the beautiful things we do is around the teaching and learning work, but I think some of the beautiful things that we do beyond teaching and learning is opportunities. So there's some things that I think happen here that I've not seen anywhere else, and that's pretty special.
That's good
That's
to
so
hear.
nice to hear. So, when you went to school, what did you enjoy? Like, what was your favourite subject?
Good question. This is an interesting choice. So I loved all of my humanities subjects, but then when I finished school, I actually went and did an undergraduate in environmental science. So go figure. But I loved English. Yeah, I loved English, and I loved drama. So
Drama.
Got the
yeah. So those were probably the subjects I did best. But I did enjoy science, so I really enjoyed biology, and that's probably what ended up driving me.
bio.
Yeah. There you go. So. Those were my two things. But I think my biggest connection as well with school was around my friends. And my mates now are still my friends from school.
That's so nice.
Yeah, so that connection with your
I
friends.
hope we can do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you can if you make it happen. So,
Yeah.
Right, now do you like to travel, sir?
Absolutely.
And if so, where would you go?
Good question. I do love to travel. So I think I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
I spent 5 years traveling all around Europe and Asia. So I've been lots and lots of places. Most recently, I've just come back from New Zealand. So we just had 2 weeks skiing in New Zealand, which was very exciting, which we loved. So travel is also one of the things that I would love to be doing when I'm not here. And I work really hard, so I always like to enjoy my holidays too.
Yeah.
If there's a place now that I would like to go that I haven't been, I probably haven't seen enough of the United States. So there's some parts of the United States I'd love to go and visit and see, because it's something I haven't seen much of. I've been to New York, but I'm aware that's not all of America. So there's some pieces there I'd really like to go and do. So yeah, that would be my next place on my travel map.
Do you have anywhere in particular?
No, not anywhere. I'd really like to go and see some of the areas in the south. I think that'd be really interesting.
Right.
Maybe get a car, bit of a road trip, go see something different.
Yeah.
New Mexico, down that area. Be really cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining.
My
us
pleasure.
on this
Always lovely to
podcast.
talk to you both.
And I hope people have learned a lot about you today.
Got to know you a bit better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please subscribe
to
our
Yeronga YouTube channel, where you can catch us more, doing more podcasts and other interesting stuff, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah.